Hello everybody, it's RaceYoGD, and today I'm going to show you all the official Geometry Dash levels and how I would recommend you to beat them. So of course you want to start with Stereo Madness because that's the easiest one. I have to apologize, my voice, I'm pretty sick. So this part, of course you have to start somewhere, and Stereo Madness is pretty simple. You just have to learn some small practice, it's not that really hard. So here, this sheep part is not hard, you just need to practice. Also, if any of the producers of any of those songs want me to remove the song, please send me an email or don't copyright strike me. I'll put my email in the description, so just tell me if you don't want my music there. This is gonna be a pretty long video because I'm having all the official levels in, so expect something to happen, probably. So the coins, as you can see, are not really difficult in this level, but the last one is. This part right here needs just some small practice and you should be fine. The third coin is probably the hardest one, because then you have to go up here. This. It has been nerfed a little bit, but it's still pretty difficult. So that's how you get all three coins there. And when you have completed Stereo Madness, I of course recommend you to go play Back on Track as the second one. Back on Track is like a good practice to learn how to use the jump pads. If that's what their name is, I don't know. And at least it's training to use these and not be afraid of them. If you beat Stereo Madness, I don't think Back on Track should be a challenge at all. But now I'm lagging a little bit, I don't know why, but I do. That coin I just missed. As you can see, not really that difficult right here. This part right here is not hard, and the coin is pretty easy too. It gives you a little bit more training on controlling the ship, but as you can see, it's not that hard. This part can be a bit annoying because you have a lot of pressure on yourself, but you should be able to do it pretty nice. There's another coin I just missed. This part is not hard at all, it's just a lot of pressure. Not too hard either, as you can see. After you're done with that, of course, I recommend Polargeist. Then you get to practice with these, which I think is called a jump orb, yellow jump orb. Also a good thing to know, the game slowly learns you which ones to use, which is also nice. But here you have to start learning to memorize, to not click every single one, you know. Some simple memorization and timings. This part I just recommend being up here, and every time one of those comes you just go a bit down. Because then you can get the coin. This part is pretty simple. There are a few timings, but you should be able to do them. Go down here and do one jump to get this coin. So the hardest part is the third coin, which is really annoying because they have to jump like this. Click that, and then you have to like quickly go back here. That coin is pretty annoying to be on this level. When you're done with that though, the last part of the level should be pretty easy. It's easy to fail on the first jump in this part though, if you do time it bad, but you should be able to do it pretty fine. Then I recommend you to play Dry Out. Dry Out is basically the first difficult level of the first like real challenge. That's because it's the first part where you have upside down, which is pretty annoying. But that's another thing you just have to practice. If you go down and hold right there, you should get that coin. Here comes the famous upside down part. Right here you just gotta learn and to remember what to do. A lot of holding though. Like that was annoying. I shouldn't have died there. This part is pretty simple. Soon there will be a coin where you have to kinda time it right there. This ship part is a little bit hard, but nothing insanely hard. It's more of getting the coin, which is hard. Right there. And then it's pretty simple afterwards. That part is not hard. As you can see. I just got a cough. So that's that one. After you've done that, base after base is actually not that difficult. It's like an easier version, but it's recommended to do it after Drought still because of the upside down part. The coins in this on this level is much easier to get and basically makes the gameplay easier as well. So here you don't need to do anything. Pretty simple one. Then you should be able to do this part pretty easy. This part a lot of people think is hard, but it's not. You just need to be patient and remember when to jump and when to not. The coin is pretty easy, you just click instantly and you get there. And then there's some background track stuff. This part is pretty easy, just stay kind of in the middle all the time. Then you go up right here and just hold. And you get the third coin. So now comes the like difficult part, which is the upside down part, because there are a few timings that are pretty annoying. For example, that jump right there. Afterwards that, this part is pretty simple. Right here a lot of pressure's on you, but you should be able to do it. Kid, remember to be late on that jump. And that jump right there is pretty easy. Then we have Can't Let Go. The first like real challenge, because it's a really huge step between base after base and Can't Let Go. Can't Let Go has a few parts that are really annoying and hard, and they have some parts that are pretty simple. For example, you have a few timings right here, it's pretty annoying. But there, if you just go down, you get that coin. This part a lot of people think is difficult when they first get to it, but it's not that hard. Just remember to be correctly with timings. Just another part you have to remember. So the first difficult part is soon to come. First we have a pretty simple coin up here. Then this part is pretty simple. Just don't go up and down like this, because that makes you a little bit out of control. This is the first difficult part. Especially the coin, I'm not gonna try to get the coin. But right here you need a few timings, which are pretty annoying. And there's one jump at this part that is super annoying, and that's this jump and this jump right here. Those two. But if you do those, you should be able to complete it. So when you're done with Can't Let Go, Jumper is the next recommended one. Jumper is not that hard compared to Can't Let Go. If you beat Can't Let Go, Jumper shouldn't be too difficult. Plus the music is much fun, much more fun. I don't really know what to tell The only really hard part is right here. But that's just because it's the first time you go upside down as a ship, and it's kind of difficult. And this secret coin right here is super annoying to get. After that part, you get some more cube parts. Go up here to get that coin. This part you kinda hold at some points, and sometimes you have to wait a little bit. This part is pretty simple. This flying part is not hard. The secret coin is right there, so just go down there and then focus on being in the middle. So there is this triple jump right here is pretty easy to die out. Outside of that, you should be able to do it. This part is a little bit annoying because you have to remember right here that you're going down twice. But if you're able to do that, it should not be difficult afterwards. So when you're done with that, I recommend you to try out Time Machine. This is the hardest level that you'll probably meet. It's a huge step up, and there's a lot of triple spike jumps. The beginning is not too hard, you just have to remember one timing jump there if you want the coin. You want to be careful of the triple spikes, which are pretty usual in Time Machine. This part a lot of people think is difficult because you're the wrong way, but it's not too hard. This coin is a bit annoying to get, but apparently I have it, so I guess I'm pro enough. Being sick doesn't help, but oh, I did it. This part a lot of people think is difficult, it's not really difficult at all. This part in the meantime can be a bit annoying because of the timings. Especially right here. You jump twice, is that one. This part is pretty simple. It's actually the ending part that is the most difficult. This part is pretty simple. But here you can do like this. To get that coin. This part is pure hell. This part right here. Super annoying part. This part is not too hard. This part is pure hell. Pure hell. If you manage to beat that, you should be able to do the last ship part, unless you're me. I actually died a lot of Time Machine this time. So you will probably feel pretty badass if you beat Time Machine. So when you're done with Time Machine, I actually recommend you to go and play Blast Processing. Then you'll get used to more modern graphic, kinda. This level is not really hard at all. It introduces the wave, which is a really important part nowadays. And practicing with the wave is nice to do early. This ship part is not hard. This dual part is a bit annoying because you have two of them, but it shouldn't be hard. This part is a bit annoying, but you should be able to do it. There's one timing jump right here, if you want that coin. This part is a little bit annoying, but it shouldn't be anything hard. there's another coin right here. Spam reel right there. This part is not hard at all. Just watch in front of you to see what you're supposed to do. And you should be able to take it pretty fine. So after you've beaten blast processing, I recommend you to go to cycles or sizzles or whatever it's called. Right here you have more practice on triple spikes and on the new item, the ball. Or it's not really new because you played blast processing, but the ball at cycles is actually harder than the part on blast processing. Not the first part, but the second one is. So the first beginning has a lot of triple spikes. This part is pretty simple. Go up, down, and go up, and specifically go down to get the coin. This part is kind of annoying because you have to kind of straighten yourself every time you go out of this, and you go all the way down if you want the coin. Straight flying practice, I guess. This bar is pretty annoying. It's pretty hard. I actually haven't taken that team coin. This bar is pretty easy. And there you go, you beat cycles, or sizzles, or whatever it's called. Now, X-Step is the next one I recommend you to play. X-Step is pretty... it's kind of revolutionary. Because now you like get the blue orb, and that one is pretty important nowadays. This bar is not really hard. Right here you just have to be calm so that you don't jump too much. This ship part is pretty difficult in the beginning, but you should be able to take it pretty nice. Also, if you want to get a challenge, try to hit one of the blue jump orbs. Just to make yourself look upside down, if you want that extra challenge. This part is pretty annoying. Especially that part right there, you have to do an extremely timing jump to get that coin. This part is pretty easy to fail at, but you should be able to do it. This ball part is kind of stressing, but you should be able to do it. This last ship part is not that really hard, but try to follow the stars. When you're done with X-Step, I recommend to play Electroman Adventures. The coins, the first coin is pretty easy, and the third coin is pretty easy. The first coin you just hold right here and click that jump orb. The second coin is medium hard to get, so you kind of have to fly down here. Do not go up and down while hitting the floor on those. This part is pretty simple. You don't really have to do too much. This way part, no, this ball part is not hard. There's one timing that's pretty annoying. Transition from UFO to ship that you do twice. It's pretty difficult. The first time is not too hard. You got some Flappy Bird. And then really hard transition. This part is pretty annoying. Basically the hardest part is right here because you have a few timings. I have to wait a little bit. The third coin, you just go up here and you stay down, and you should be able to do that. It's pretty simple. Last part right here is not hard at all. When When you're done with that one, I recommend you to play Theory of Everything. This one will also be very challenging, because it's the first level with the UFO, and it has one part with the UFO that's pretty difficult. The first part here is not hard unless you want to try to get the coin. Go to the middle, the kind of memorization where to go. Hit all, and then don't hit that one. This ball part is a little bit difficult, but nothing super hard. The ship part is not hard, but the coin is. There we go. Now we get some Flappy Bird action again. Go to the middle, wait specifically. This part is pretty annoying. Go up and then go all the way down. This part is kind of stressful, but it's not hard, it's just really stressing. The transition between the ball and the ship is super hard. But unless you don't fail there, you should be able to complete it. Now that you've beaten Theory of Everything, I recommend you to go for Clutterfunk, which is really difficult. Right here you have to practice a lot on how to do it. Pretty simple in the beginning. This ship part right here is a bit annoying, but you should be able to do it. This ball part is pretty cool, it's not hard, it's just really cool. This ship part is pretty annoying, but it's not hard. This part is pretty easy. Just hold until there. This part is the hardest part. The mini, like the last cube part, is so annoying. Coins right there. It's so easy to fail on like that one jump right here when you die. But if not, you should be able to do it pretty easily. So after you beat Clutterfunk, I recommend you to go to Electrodynamics. Then you learn to use to play quicker. The beginning is pretty annoying, so you kinda have to practice it. Two annoying timings right there. Go up and then down. Collect both of those. This ship part is not hard, it just looks difficult. This UFO part is pretty annoying. This part is not really that hard. This part is pretty difficult. This is the worst part by far. The worst part and the hardest. I don't know why I'm lagging. Those jumps right here aren't really hard, you just have to remember. And the ending part is pretty difficult as well. After you've been that, I recommend you to play Hexagon Force. Because you have to get used to the double cube, and the double ship, and the double ball, and everything. And that's exactly what Hexagon Force provides you, like experience with using dual. Level is not that hard, unless without, but there are the dual parts which are hard. Basically you have to watch both to see that none of them dies. This ship part is not that hard. I don't know why I died there. This part you kind of have to remember which to not click. This UFO part is not hard. This wall part is probably the hardest part. Actually, I haven't played this part in a while. This ship part is not hard. This part right here can be pretty annoying. This last ship part is annoying, but it's not that super hard. Just like that, you beat Hexagon Force. When you're done beating Hexagon Force, I recommend you to play Geometrical Dominator, because this one will learn you some basic memory parts in the ending, which is nice to remember, because it's good to learn how to memorize parts. Also here you get a little bit used to the move triggers, which is always nice. So now get prepared to place a very annoying memory part soon. And the memory part is the only reason why I have this one after the other ones, because outside that, this level is not that hard. It's just because of that memorization right here. I don't even remember the entire memorization. Oh, I remembered it. Holy mother fudge. I didn't think I would actually remember it. Yeah, right here is pretty easy to die. You have to get those. I know it's I know it's not really helping with me telling what to do. Afterwards that, I recommend you to play Finger Dash. Finger Dash is actually not that hard. You just have to get used to the new things. This is kind of memorization of where you end up. But you should be able to do this part pretty easy. Wait before you hit that black one. This spider part is pretty easy. This ship part is pretty easy. This part is pretty easy. The coin right here is pretty difficult, but if you don't, or if you're not planning to get the coin, then it's not that hard. This part is pretty annoying. This wave is pretty simple, same with the UFO. Oh. So right there's that part. So now I recommend you to try the first demon, which is Club Step. Club Step is like a memorization level. You just have to remember what to do. As you can see right now, I have been practicing Club Step a lot as I tried my best to beat it multiple times, and because of this I know the entire level. I recommend you to actually do like a timing jump there for some reason. I just like to do that. This trick part is not hard. It's just a little bit difficult the first time we play it. Go down and then release and go down again. Hit all fours, jump over that pad because it's easier. This part you just kind of have to remember what to click and what to not. This Flappy Bird part is pretty easy. It does have some hard timings though. The sheep part is pretty easy. Easy memorization. This part is a little bit annoying. A lot of people say this UFO part is hard, but it's not. This ship part in the meantime is a little bit hard. This part is pretty annoying. But this part beats all of it. Oh my god, I hate this part. So annoying. The last ship part is not difficult at all. It's just a lot of stress. But you should be able to do it pretty easy. Then I recommend you to do Theory of Everything 2. Theory of Everything 2 is... it kinda is easier, but it has a few parts that are super hard. This fly part is pretty easy, just straight fly kinda. Just have to fix like that. Some hard timings with the UFO, but nothing extremely hard. This UFO part is pretty easy. Easy memorization. This part is pretty annoying. Easy memorization again. The wave parts of this demon is not hard at all, as you can see. It's have a lot of space. This part just needs you to do some nice memorization. More easy wave, even though this coin is pretty annoying. Really hard ship parts. More easy memory. And then the hardest part. That ship part is super annoying. Easy UFO part. Easy wave. You didn't see that. And there you go. And then, of course, the last level is Deadlocked. And this one is pretty difficult, actually. The beginning has a few annoying memorization parts and the introduction of the green orb. The first wave part is the first, like, difficult part. Right here. This ship part is pretty easy. This part is pretty easy, just remember. Easy part. Remember where to click. Small jumps. This part is tricky, but it's not difficult. go up here for the coin if you got the key. Jump over that one, and jump over that one. Go down here to do like some jumps to get that coin. This part is not hard, it's just annoying. Do a little click right there. This part is pretty easy. Now this part is pure hell. This part is super hard to remember. You have to do a lot of training to remember this part. This is the easiest part, and then the UFO part right here is the most annoying part. I always die at that part. And then the ending has a few timings, but it should be pretty easy. So, if you've done it like this, it should have been pretty simple for you. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry that this video is pretty bad. But now you know how I would recommend you to beat all the levels at Geometry Dash. So I will be streaming right afterwards, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.